Okay, welcome to the Canary in the Cage podcast. I'm Ron Morgan.
And Dave Havlicek.
And we are here to entertain you, educate you, and hopefully make you laugh. So, we want to talk about some Monero stuff.
Yeah, let's go with the... We had two challenges issued last week.
Yep.
And one of them was a longer-term challenge. So it was going to be an over-under on how many pardons Joe Biden would issue. And nobody answered, unfortunately, because it's over. We lost. The number right now, as of today, is 8,027.
Silly me think it was only going to be 800.
Wow. So that's almost as many as every other president combined. Woodrow Wilson has a big number. I think Biden might shatter the combined numbers.
Well, yeah, he gets money for that. You can pay.
No, I will give him credit though, because 6,500 of those pardons were simple marijuana possession.
Okay.
So those people do not belong in prison.
He hasn't got back to me yet because I was asking if I could buy a pardon from him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm waiting for him to answer.
You got to send that certified mail, not regular mail.
Maybe I should go Jill because she's out shit talking now. See that video I posted?
Yes.
She literally was fucking mocking Harris, and the crowd laughed. And she goes, "Oh, you guys are reading more into this." She was making fun of the word joy, and she was totally. Oh, did you ever see the other one I posted? It was a video of. Some dinner that the president and vice president were at with their spouses.
Yeah,
and they were ignoring each other. And that was the video.
Where they start a fight.
But somebody turned it into a fight.
That's amazing. Like those AI things. That was where people fight. Like it's. Oh my god! I don't know how that looks so good. But
I know because even when he kind of turns his head, you can kind of see the face, and he's throwing hands.
So then there's our other weekly challenge, which we're gonna get into right now on the wheel.
All right, let's find out who is gonna get some Monero. Here we go. The Monero giveaway.
Yes.
So we got stories, I heard.
Yes, we actually got two entries.
Okay.
Oliver Chase.
Of course.
So you want to put him in there. You are recording the screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Oliver Chase said that he was browsing the dark web torrent website and found our podcast through there.
Really?
Yeah. So
he's a dark webber.
Dark webber. I didn't even know that.
Now I'm scared of him.
Because he joined the normal matrix, and he didn't mention anything. So that's awesome. Like I'm glad we reached someone that way. And then Dormouse is the other person. So he had a friend tell him while they were talking about Monero.
No way.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about this?
And I'm not going to reveal too much, but he's from Europe. So he's talking to his friend in Europe, face to face, about Monero, and their friend's like, "Hey, you should check out this podcast."
All right, I like that. Keep them coming. Europe, whatever. Russia, China. No Iran people though. Fuck it. Iran people come too.
DORMOUSE.
MOU. Yeah, spell it right this time.
And that's it. Just those two. So let's see who wins.
All right, spin to win.
Boom.
Dormouse.
All right, so we're going to get your Monero address and send you over. There were no donations, so just 0.01 this week.
But it's going up every day.
It is. It's over 200 now.
Really?
Yeah, so that's $2 and change.
All right. I don't think I stopped that. All right, Dormouse, congratulations.
Yep, congrats. So let's get on with the show.
All righty. So I missed a story from last week because I'm not really good at focusing on my notes, and I get distracted, and a bird flies by, and I just focus on the bird, I guess.
Squirrel.
Oh yeah, squirrel and a raccoon. So we are going to be changing our American flag pretty soon. It sounds like.
We're gonna get a new star or what?
Yep, got to add a new state.
Canada.
Yep.
Canada. Fuck no, I don't want no Canada.
I know. Well, first of all, it shouldn't be one state. We should break that shit up into
they have 41 million people. That would be a new California.
Oh lordy, they only have 40. Really?
Yeah. Well, only. What do you mean only?
Well, I mean, Illinois' got 13 million.
Well, yeah, but
New York's got
Canada's huge.
No, I know. I would think more than 41 million.
And also, I think 80% of the people live in the Toronto, Montreal area.
Okay, well, I've been to Vancouver. Well, I've been to Windsor and Vancouver and Vancouver Island and
those are
Victoria.
barren.
They're pretty cool. I dig Canada.
There's no people there. No, fuck those people. Those are not. They voted for Justin Trudeau, for fuck's sake.
Hey, we voted for Joe Biden, for fuck's sake.
It was close, though. It was close.
No, Trudeau is done. So apparently Trudeau was having dinner at Mar-a-Lago, and he's like, "Oh, those tariffs are going to kill Canada." And Trump's like, "Hey, if you can't survive without America, maybe we should annex you and make one of the state." Now that was last week. And he said, we'll make you the 51st state. You could be the governor. This week, he went, hey, to Justin Trudeau, one of the best governors we have. So he's keeping that shitposting going on. That is one reason I do like Trump, because he makes his shitposts make me laugh.
Yeah, he's hilarious. You can't deny it.
Yep, I want to see his show if I'm required to pay money in this world.
So, Ron, I heard you used to be a criminal.
Did I?
Yeah, I was arguing with some idiot on X, like I do every once in a while.
Okay.
And he thought he'd be clever and search our names. And he picked your name because I guess I came up with nothing.
Oh, wait. He searched Ron Morgan?
Yeah. No. Ron Morgan, Las Vegas. And
bullshit.
And he came up with this. Las Vegas man sentenced to 2 years in prison for his role in multi-million-dollar advance fee business loan fraud scheme.
Shit, where'd all that money go?
I don't know, but apparently you are fraud. You committed fraud for $3.2 million.
Hey, wait, no, it was only like $10.
You did 2 years in prison. And there you go. That's even this guy found. One of our detractors found you on Google.
Keep going. You missed a swing and a miss. No, because when I went to sign up to run for office, there was another Ron Morgan who had run for office previous to me, and it wasn't me.
Yeah.
No, that's the one cool thing about my name. Good luck. And actually, if you really want to look my background up, it's Illinois. See what you can find there. And you might actually find something, though. Keep looking. Matter of fact, that'll be, whoever that is, that's the Monero challenge.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, shit. Find my criminal record, if I got one. I don't know.
There you go.
Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Ron's criminal record.
We'll never know, I guess. Until we piss somebody else off and he goes searching me.
I'll be able to verify it.
I'll verify because I know what I did, if I did anything at all. Who knows?
We have the best Monero giveaways here on Canary in the Cage.
Yeah, it actually goes to anybody and everybody. Please search me.
Of course.
I was at Costco one time signing up. They had like 4 pages of Ron Morgan's. But don't find anything else about me. Just stick it to the criminal thing. I don't need fucking skeletons brought up. I don't care about the criminal thing if it exists. That is. Oh, what is the statute of limitations on stuff? Is it usually 7? Is it 10 now?
Well, if you've already been convicted, then it doesn't matter.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe okay. So it's.
But it wouldn't be on your record then if you didn't get caught.
Oh, I've been arrested, just never found guilty. No.
Well, then it doesn't matter the statute.
No, actually, and that's what sucks. If you're arrested on a background check, it will come up. Even if you're arrested and the charges will drop, it will show you were arrested.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
No, but that's bullshit though, because people check your background when they hire you.
Right.
And they see you've been arrested, but then weren't charged.
Right.
And they go, okay, well, maybe. But then if it happens 2 or 3 more times, then they're like, So, yeah, that should not be.
How did that come up last week? That came up in...
What's that?
Shit.
Shit came up?
No. The idea of, prior records where somebody... Oh, it was, fuck. Now I look like a fucking idiot here.
Yeah, we have some dead air going on. I don't remember that, but
it was again arguing on X, and someone was like, "Oh yeah, they should have everyone's records." Are like it might have been Trump related because Trump's convictions are going to be purged most likely.
No, that the Tisha. Whatever, she's holding strong.
Oh God,
it's a bullshit case too. That's the funniest thing.
But then I came back with the argument of, let's say, it was about investigations rather than arrests.
Okay,
which is kind of a similar thing. Yeah. Oh, it was about Matt Gaetz. There you go. It was about Matt Gaetz.
Oh yeah,
the releasing of the investigation. Save myself.
Jesus.
Okay. So, yeah, they were talking about release the Gaetz investigation, and I said, well, let's say I accuse you of having illegal photos of children, okay?
Right.
And the cops go into your house, they get a warrant.
Okay.
They get a warrant, they go into your house, they find that there's no such photos. Right? You don't have any illegal photos. But you cheat on your wife, you have Ashley Madison account, all that bullshit, right?
Oh.
Now, should that investigation be released? Right? Because the guy's argument was, well, we the public taxpayer pay that.
Well, it's public money being spent.
That's
no for privacy. It shouldn't be, but I mean, it should be. It sucks,
right? But the only reason you got investigated in the first place is because I lied about you. So I lied to make the cops harass you.
Well, but then
now the cops find things about you that are not desirable to be known, but perfectly legal. Now, why are they releasing investigations? You weren't charged with any crime.
Yeah, I mean, it should be kept private, but tax-dollar money were spent.
Well, this is why we shouldn't have cops. Is the real argument. Right.
No, I get it. So, yeah, I mean, it's a tough one because it really shouldn't be.
I mean, it's a similar thing to the arrest records, though, right?
Yeah.
If you don't get charged, then that should be purged, right? Maybe have it for like 6 months and then just delete it all. Wipe it out, wipe the hard drives, bleach it.
Yeah.
Give it the Hillary Clinton treatment.
Oh, you mean like with a rag?
Yes.
I wipe it down with a rag?
Yeah. I should do an episode on bleach pit. I'm going to write that down.
we have to play that quote if we do. She's in Congress going, what? We mean to bleach on a rag and wiping my computer down? Why is that important? God. And she gets, you see Bill Clinton out stumping for his wife again?
Really? What the hell she do? Like,
I don't
give
know.
it up. Retire, bitch.
I think
you're done.
I think they're nervous. The Epstein Island list is coming out, which we already know he's on there.
Well, of course.
But maybe he's like, well, she's done nothing wrong.
Yeah, maybe not on Epstein Island, but
maybe
plenty of other things.
Maybe in Bill Clinton's matrix, she's done nothing wrong because he's a fucking criminal himself. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. Don't sue me. Because
there's a I think I mentioned this before, but there's a hilarious. Well, it's not hilarious. It's kind of tragic actually. There was a case in Arkansas in the '80s where these two kids were like playing in the forest.
Okay.
And like they disappeared one day, and like it turned out that they were near this secret drug lab or something, and like the people that ran the drug lab had connections to the Clintons, and it's like really fucked up. Like if you dive into this, you can go on YouTube and there's like a 20-hour fucking saga. It's wild. You guys should look it up.
Yeah, even Luigi though, he's got a connection to Pelosi. I haven't really looked into it yet, but he does. It has something to do with investing.
Oh well.
Do you know he wasn't even a customer of United Health?
Someone said his dad was though.
Maybe. I mean, this is all kind of flowing like
I didn't
mud
deep
right
dive.
now. But he was set to inherit $10 million from his grandmother.
Wow.
Which kind of like crossed over what I want to talk about today, but that's fine. We'll deal with it anyway.
Well, we can stay on Luigi for a little bit. He seems to be a nut job. Like there's signs of schizophrenia.
Well, that's the age it comes.
The what?
In your 20s is when men get schizophrenia.
Yeah. I mean, he walked around with manifestos. Like nobody does that, you know. And he had like right-wing rants on his social media, but he also had left-wing rants.
And he was a fan of the Unabomber.
Yeah, so like there was no like coherent thing going on there.
Might be, because even in court, his lawyer had to keep coming, shut up.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal with this guy is, and it's funny that everyone like made him into a hero. When he's just a fucking nut job. Maybe he was just trying to kill someone at random, like, and he just happened to get the CEO. I don't know.
No.
How are you gonna know? You're never gonna know.
He wrote the words on the bullet on the shells,
yeah.
And it was related to a book that guy either wrote or something.
Maybe I don't know.
He targeted that motherfucker.
I don't know.
And first of all, let's get something straight. Murder is wrong. Do not shoot and kill anybody. But the guy was an evil CEO.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, come on,
get out of here.
I've talked about this before. I don't like greedy CEOs. And there's a lot of them out there.
So again, go back to X with my arguing with idiots. This guy posts a letter of, I think it was United Health, rejecting one of his insurance claims.
Okay.
So he had some kind of injury where he needed a wheelchair, and like he put the whole letter up there, which I don't know why he did that because it makes him look really bad. So like he asked for the top end wheelchair. Like the power wheelchair with fucking like goes upstairs.
And spinners on it.
And they rejected him and said, no, you can have the second best wheelchair.
Oh.
And the guy's like, United Health rejected me. You know, like, what the fuck, bro? Like that's what these rejections are. So, no, not all of them. I mean, sometimes they reject legitimate stuff.
Yeah.
But like, there's tons of fraud going on. Because think about it, if you're a doctor, right? And a patient comes in and he says, hey, doctor, I'm having headaches. And you say, whoa, let's get you the MRI, let's get you the X-ray, let's get you this. Put you on these antibiotics, right? You write up all the shit because you're going to get paid for that.
Right.
And the insurance is going to pay for it. Right? So now the insurance gets this thing in, and they're like, well, wait a minute, this guy just has headaches. He doesn't need all this. We have to reject that. Right? So there's like this back and forth going on where just because I reject it doesn't mean that it's bad. That doesn't mean they're
United
evil,
Health has a higher percentage of rejections.
That just means maybe they're better than everybody else.
At rejecting people?
Well, at finding fraud.
I mean,
you don't know. You have to look into it. But
doctors double bill because they're evil bastards too. But no, I mean, I've ranted about evil CEOs prior on this podcast at different times. So to me, this is just like, and that's kind of what I want to dig into, because this kind of pissed me off this past week. The other right-wing podcasts, we're not really right-wing, but I mean, if you're going to put us somewhere in some box, it's probably going to be hanging out of that box, maybe on the, stuck to the bottom with some dog poop on us. I'm not really sure, but we'd be kind of somewhere around there. We're independent. But they're all just like, well, there's other ways of handling this. You can hire a lawyer, you can do this and this. And I'm like, you know what? Shut the fuck up, because you're wrong. You have money. You probably have a lawyer on retention. So to you, it's just like you call your lawyer, he does his thing. I mean, how about you couldn't even find a lawyer for your lawsuit? And it was an actual crime.
That's different. So my issue is not going to get a big payout. And I'm not even asking for any money other than my court costs. So why would a lawyer help me? But with these insurance things, there's big money involved. So a lawyer's going to look at that and say, okay, you can get $1 million payout. I'm going to get 30% of that. I'll take it on contingency.
Okay, but
they do it all the time.
And that's, I mean, then you're talking about malpractice? What are we talking here?
Well, again, it depends. You have to look at each case.
The situation. But I guess what I'm saying, though, is even if it's not an insurance, if it's a CEO, if it's a corporation, and they hold strong, what do we do as the middle class people?
Just stop buying their products. So this doesn't work without insurance, because Obamacare forces you to buy health insurance. But
nope, not anymore.
Well, it still does. It's just there's no penalty. It's all bullshit. But like with any other corporate, like if you don't like your Apple laptop, stop paying Apple. Just don't buy another.
Have you ever truly fought a corporation?
I don't need to. I don't have to, because I don't have to give them my money.
I do. I
just stop giving them my money. I say, fuck you, I'm gone. This happened during COVID, for example. I went to a restaurant, and I would always walk into a restaurant, no mask on. Yeah. And usually they would say, hey, you need to put a mask on. I'd say, oh, I can't wear a mask. And they'd say, okay, no problem. And they would drop it, right? Because they want my business. Now, there was one restaurant here, and they famously got in trouble with, I think, the Review Journal, because the governor at the time, Sisolak, went in there with no mask on, and they took a bunch of photos of him having his party and partying it up and whatever. And I went there because it was a highly rated restaurant. Yeah. And I walked in with no mask on, and they gave me a hard time, right? Yeah. They fucking like the bartender wanted to fight me. And I'm like, let's go, bitch. Like he's like 4 foot tall, idiot. But I never went back there. And if anyone asks me like, hey, have you been to this place? I'll tell them, don't go there. They're assholes.
Okay, so I get voted with your dollars. I'm huge on that, and I rant about that all the time. But in some cases, you have to have a resolution.
Why?
Because I have a cracked windshield and I have a warranty on it.
Okay.
They have been trying to cancel this warranty since the day I initiated. Well, no, it didn't break the right way. Literally, the dude goes, "Oh, your mirror fell and swung." We had a pothole. The mirror in this particular car, the mirror sits in a receiver, but there's nothing secured in there. So we hit a pothole. Shocker, and it's really close to the windshield. Well, the metal stem cracked the windshield, and then broke the bracket, and the mirror started swinging.
Okay.
The dude goes, well, your mirror clearly hit that and broke it. We're not covering that. And I go, are you fucking stupid? Look at the pictures. Look what the brake is an inch off the top of the windshield.
Yeah.
How did the mirror swing into that? And they go, okay, we'll do that. And then I go to the windshield company. I don't know if I'm interested. I can't think of the name. I probably would because they suck. They're like, oh, we can't do it because your mirror's down. I'm like, it's part of the reason the windshield broke. I can't fix it until you put the new windshield in.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but
it's like on my car, it's a $3,500 front windshield.
Yeah.
So I'm going to fight them and make them.
Right, but you have avenues to do that. I mean, it's
well, I actually want to bring that up in a second too. No, they were holding strong, and I mean, I think I mentioned this last week.
Right, but you can go on Yelp. I mean, you have all these avenues where like you can. We have an X account with 300 followers, like. What the fuck? Use it.
And I did threaten that. And I said, but I didn't do it in a dick way.
Thomas Massey's one of our followers.
I just told him, I said, listen, I'm going to have fun with this. And I told the guy this. I go, I'm not being a jerk. I go, because you're nice to him and I got along really well. And I go, but I'm going to have fun with this. I'm going to file a small claims court.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about it on my podcast. Yeah. So you can be talked about on the dark web. Woohoo!
And I mean, like Caesar's Palace, right? I sent my letter to get unbanned. They haven't responded yet, but we can go out and protest in front of Caesar's Palace, right?
But here's the thing. So Now, I am not saying this happened because I mentioned on the podcast, because I think I got the email before the podcast even hit the link. I have a feeling some corporations may have just said, push everything through. I got approved for the windshield replacement.
Well, exactly. So you won.
No. But why?
It doesn't matter why.
Because the CEO got shot.
No,
and this CEO.
No.
What else was the reason, dude? I spent hours talking to these people over months, arguing with them, debating with them, and they're like, "Well, your time expired."
Because you won't.
It took you too long to get the windshield replaced. And I go, yeah, that's because whatever that window. I go, they would not, because I did is I said you have to plug the mirror in. Yeah. I don't leave it plugged in because it just dangles, and they refuse to plug the mirror in. They go, well, your camera's not coming up. And I'm like, Jesus.
See, I've never had this problem. Like, I have insurance, car insurance, and I've filed claims several times, and no problem. Like, no questions asked. Like, half the time the guy doesn't even come out to take pictures. Yeah. Like, they just accept my word.
Oh, and this was the email though.
Yeah.
Even though your windshield falls out of the warranty, we're gonna do a gesture of goodwill and replace it.
Okay.
What? I mean, thanks, but I'm not outside the warranty.
Well, that's the thing is, like, you're proving me right? Like, you can fight them and win.
No. Okay, there's nothing that I did or said, because...
I don't believe that.
Because I threatened small claims court like a week before.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the day after, or a couple days after, the CEO gets fucking shot.
It's not about the CEO.
Okay, how about this? Go to our X account. If you got a story where a company just did a real quick turnaround and went to your benefit, let's hear about it.
I've had that happen. Like, I've had a company. So I don't want to get into specifics here. So I had a company. I called them up and I said, "Hey, can you do this service for me?" They said, "Sure, no problem." So they're kind of like an old school company, so like you have to give them their credit card over the phone,
Yeah.
So I gave them the credit card. They charged me, and then I emailed them for a status update like a week later.
Yeah.
Said, "Hey, how's that service going?" No reply.
Yeah.
Right. So I waited a day because it's a small company. Yeah. I'm just gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. Hey, well, how's it going? No reply. So then the following day I called them, and like no one's answering the phone.
Right.
So I call again and again and again. Finally, someone picks up the phone. And they sound kind of annoyed. And I'm like, "Hey, I'm the guy that's been emailing you. I paid you a week ago. I need a status update." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, we'll send you one tonight." So they actually did.
Okay.
And I think a week later, the job was done. But you just have to be persistent, right?
Oh, I was persistent.
And the other thing, like what I said on the phone was, like, all I'm asking is for a status update. And if I can't even get that, I'm just going to do a chargeback and go to someone else. Because it's not worth my time, right? Okay. And when you say the word chargeback, that doesn't work for your case because you're talking about warranties.
Right.
But, like, that word is a fucking, like, red flag for them. They're like, "Oh, fuck, I better get my ass
right, because
gear."
if you paid the proper way, though.
Well, not proper, but...
Well, if you pay them a check, you can't pull that back.
Right. No, yeah. But again, like, there's always ways to do this. There's always something you can do.
So most of my issues I get resolved because I am persistent. Like
right, well, you have to be persistent.
But no, I still got one left. I got one that I'm out there. I don't know how to end this one. I've told you about it before, but I don't think I did the podcast. My wife and son were going to see Alice Cooper at the Dollar Loan Center Arena.
Yeah.
My wife was in a metal detector and she beeped, and they were wanding her, and they're like, it must have been the rivet on her jean, which we still don't understand. And as they were wanding her, she's like, "No, look, there's nothing in my pockets." And she tapped her pockets.
Right.
This little prick comes running over, no uniform on, no ID, and starts yelling at her. And my son goes, "Who the fuck are you?" And my son was like, he's like, he kicked him out.
Yeah.
So we're out like $300 in tickets. So I'm there, and I'm like, and fucking Henderson cops were there, which is weird, because this is something else. I kind of want to look into this, but I kind of Henderson is. I kind of like their police department.
Okay,
but they were there.
What's the name of the security company?
It's in my notes. I have to. They're out of California.
You're on a podcast right now.
No,
where you can give them bad publicity.
They were the company that started with the Sphere, got kicked out of the Sphere.
Okay.
They're the same company that was on the crosswalks during F1 the first year.
Yeah.
Threatening to arrest people. It's that same company.
Okay.
And Richard. Dick. His name's Richard something. But I think he did call him Dick, actually, by the way. When you call no one answers their phone, and when they do, they get sent you to a generic voicemail that you cannot ever talk to anybody in the company.
Right. That's the problem with Caesars, right?
But that's the Dollar Loan Center Arena, and that's the security company corporate office.
But the thing is, right, there's public sidewalks outside that place. where you can go and have a protest.
No, because I actually have picketed by myself businesses before. The problem with this is it's not a loan center arena, so it's only during events. So I'm going to be the idiot. I walk on the sidewalk with a sign when everyone's just driving in.
That matters.
No, but they're not even going to pay attention to my sign because they're trying to get.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the people pay attention or not. The business sees it, and
I don't think they care.
If Caesars rejects me, we're going to go out there and protest. And you're going to see how they care.
Caesar, that's different though.
It's not different
because they care about the customers.
No,
I went
about the opinions.
I went online and looked at the reviews. This one particular security guard had.
Yeah,
it was horrific. He's
all right. So here's
people out for no reason.
Here's the thing. Okay, find out where he's working and when. Show up to an event and get him to start a fight with you. Make sure he throws the first punch. Or whatever.
And have my own body camera on?
Yes.
Huh.
I mean, like, again, there's always something you can do.
Hold on.
Be creative.
You could have told me this off camera. Dave, I would never do that. That's that's
I'm just saying, like, I'm just throwing ideas. Like, think like a hacker, Ron. We had an episode last week.
No, I understand that, but I was trying to, to me, this was this was open and shut to me until I found something out that I really don't like, because this was public property.
Yeah.
Technically. Not the entire facility was not built with public funds,
right?
But some of it was,
right.
I even talked to a guy in Clark County. He goes, "Yes, we put in the drainage system for the lot. Why are you asking me about this?" Because I'm not being mad. Because I'm just curious. I go, I just need to verify public money was spent.
Yeah,
and I did on a couple of different fronts. So I'm like, cool. I got this. I told you about the body camera footage, right?
Yeah.
I told him to push him down for me. Okay, so. I found this is kind of gross though. So I found this out. If a building is built with public funds, but they hire a private company to manage it, private property rules are in force. You don't have your First Amendment. You don't have your constitutional rights because the private company is the one who was in charge of running. Like I tried to FOIA request the camera footage.
Yeah.
And they said that we don't have to give that to you.
That's weird. I don't know how that works.
No, apparently it's across the country though. I thought maybe it was just a Nevada thing.
Right. But
I talked to a friend of mine. He's an attorney. He goes, no. He goes, it sucks and it's across.
See, that's weird because if you own a private building and you lease it out to the government.
Oh, the opposite happens.
The opposite happens.
Yeah, because there's some post offices that they lease.
Right, and they can't kick you out. They cannot kick you out. I don't know. It's weird.
No, but my friend was telling me that this has gone to the Supreme Court and they ruled in favor of the private entity.
Interesting.
Which just sucks because private dollars and then there's nothing. And then you got cops there in full complete uniform, but not there in their official capacity.
Yeah.
That's a problem because I see that all over here. And I have a problem with that. They should be having a different shirt on or they should denote that they're not actual police officers at the time.
Right.
Because I thought I was talking to police officers and I was actually talking to off-duty police officers in their uniforms.
Right.
And yeah, so it's a little confusing, and I don't like it. But my point is I drill down on everything because
well, there you go. So that's how you beat corporations.
Half the time I don't care if I win or lose because it's just fun doing it.
Well, okay, there you go.
But in this case, I don't want to pay $3,500 for a windshield. And apparently they're going to do it, but now who knows? Right. Oh, so they sent me an email. Check this out. You have 60 days to get this completed. Here's the phone number to call. I call the phone number. And it goes, please enter the extension of the party you're calling. I have no extension.
Right.
They go, oh, you did that enter extension. Goodbye.
Yeah.
What? So technically, I'm not. It's not. But I actually have it in writing from them now.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, get everything in writing, right? If you have phone calls, record the phone calls, and make sure that you say, "I'm recording this phone call."
No, they say it.
You have to say it too.
No, I do not.
If they say it, you don't have to, but someone should say it.
Right, and they do. Well, I still disagree. I got to look into that law because I still think you can do it in Nevada.
Nevada is like the one state where it's really fucked up. Now, even if you're... So here's the thing. Even if you're in a state where it's one-party consent, the place you might be calling might be in a different state.
Yeah, but I'm doing the physical act in a state that's a one-consent state.
It doesn't matter.
No, crank kickers. Crank kickers filmed here.
Again, so the courts do not give a fuck. Like, they don't give a fuck. So if you call California, or if the call center happens to be in California, you don't even know, It doesn't hurt you just to say this call is being recorded.
So when you call in, it says this call is recorded for training purposes.
Yeah.
And that's a question I have.
That still counts.
Well, no, hold on though. It counts since we both know the recording. But what if I decided to sue them in small claims court and I went through discovery and I asked for the recordings?
That should be there.
Should they? Because they're for training purposes. Is that a way to get around discovery?
I don't know. So it's not about discovery. It's more like, what's your retention policy, right? So like normally you have to keep records for 2 years or something, but you might if it's for training purposes, maybe you only keep it for a month.
Well, but you don't have to turn it over though, because
no, you always have to turn it over. If you have it, you must turn it over.
But it's for training. It's not for the right purpose.
If you have it, you must turn it over.
Okay.
The only issue is, when can you justify not having it anymore? I don't know the answer to that.
Right, but it doesn't matter because mine was going to be within like 30 or 60 days because I was going to go file.
Yeah.
Actually, on Friday, tomorrow, because I'm
There
off
you go.
tomorrow. I was going to go file, and then I was going to start doing discovery, and I was going to request so much shit from them. They're just going to be like, just fucking buy him a new car. Just get him because I never sued.
So you're making my point for me. Like,
no, I know.
You can win.
But there are times where you can't. They can take a hard-nosed approach, and they're like, "You're one customer, go away." Because still the internet.
But then they get popular. Like, that goes viral. It goes viral all the fucking time.
The internet's still a new thing in this country. Like, the politicians haven't figured it out yet.
Oh, good.
They're so stupid. They're like, "Oh, I didn't say that." Well, here's a bunch of videos of you saying it. It's like they're too stupid to realize.
But that's why you win, because the corporations are the same way.
I don't know. I've had some long and hard. I mean, I got into an argument with the guy at the Fremont Street Experience.
Yeah.
I'm not a Karen guy. I do a lot of this shit I used to do for fun. But this particular incident, dude, I walked through the security checkpoint, which I still have a problem with that as well. But they only do that for their special events in a special area because they're only looking for alcohol. They say it's weapons, but it's alcohol. Because I would love to challenge the head of security there and go, give me a number.
Yeah.
Between 1 and 100. I'll sneak that many guns in. Unloaded.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to scare anybody, but you will not catch guns coming through this. Just the way you guys do it. But I turn around, so I go through, my wife's at Nick, I turn around, this dude is elbow deep in my wife's purse. And I'm like, get your fucking hand on my wife's purse, or I'm kicking your ass. I mean, I don't go in my wife's purse. You know? And so I started talking to security, he goes, we can do what we want. I go, to your public property. He goes, no, we have a permit to operate this way. We can do what we want. He goes, you can't. He goes, we're allowed to do it however we want. And that's because we had a long conversation with concealed carry, open carry on Fremont Street.
Yeah.
One guy's like, I'm going to do it. I go, I'll go with you, but we're going to get kicked out immediately.
Yeah.
They're not going to let us on Fremont Street with handguns, but technically it's public property.
Yeah.
Public property, just because they put up a little LED screen and some idiots running on a rope, it doesn't take away the fact that tax dollars put that shit in.
Right.
So, but you don't have your rights on Fremont Street. So that's what I have. And the bridges are the same way. The bridges across the boulevard, or the strip.
So, I mean, like, those don't really have restrictions other than the stopping rule. Yeah, well,
because they had a permit to operate as a private entity.
No, I don't think that's correct. I think they got away with one because nobody pushed them on it. Although I think some people did sue. I don't know if it went anywhere.
They lost because they had a permit.
I don't think so.
F1 had a permit to operate on that public property.
Not the bridges. They had the streets.
What if they use? Well, because there was I don't think I mentioned this on the podcast because I could not verify it, but I heard it on a local radio show here. They were told if you have a condo that faces the race, and your blinds are open, you're going to get a fine.
Good luck.
No, because they went through the HOAs.
I don't give a fuck. I'm going to fight that one. You're never going to win that.
Well, will you though?
Bitch. Yes.
Because they have like the Bean in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's copywritten or it's
okay.
No, dude, set up a tripod. You're out. If you want to just take a picture of it, that's fine. The minute you set up professional equipment, the security will kick you out. And then I think you obviously can't post a picture of it and try to make money off of it.
Oh, watch me.
Because they'll come after you.
Watch me.
All right, go take a picture of the Bean.
I'm not going back to that city.
Fucking Bean. What? I still don't understand the Bean. I mean, if it was Boston, maybe.
It's a big reflective bean.
Yeah, whatever.
I have a rant to go on.
Okay.
So this is not news. This is not... it's a little bit libertarian adjacent. but it's one of my little passion projects.
Sweet.
I want to talk about the metric system. You've heard me go on this rant before, but not on the podcast. So, the metric system is communism. Now, what do I mean by that, right? So, what we have in America is ironically called the imperial system, right? As if some emperor declared these are the units that you shall use, which is actually the opposite, right? The units that we use in America, like feet, miles, pounds, those were all created by regular people who felt that those units improved their lives somehow.
Okay.
And they were popular, so they spread. Right? That's how capitalism works. That's how freedom works.
Okay.
Right? So the idea was good, the idea spread. So the way the metric system came about is there was a revolution in France in 1790 or something, and socialists won that revolution. They took over France, and they instituted what is now known as the Reign of Terror. And there's a kind of a reason that they call it that.
Okay.
Where they beheaded a lot of people and were a bunch of fucking assholes.
Was that when that chick with the sword did some shit?
No, that was in the 1400s or 1300s.
Okay.
But so these crazy fucking socialists, they looked at these units and they said, this isn't rational, right? There's no logic here, right? And they said, we're going to invent a new system based on logic and reason, and it's actually called the cult of reason, what these people believed in, right? And they tore down like all the churches, burned them down, tore down statues. And by the way, the churches at the time, like, they kept time, right?
Okay.
So the church, church bells,
yeah,
they rang every hour,
yeah, and
they tore it all down. So now how do you tell time? Well, they said we're going to build new churches. They're going to be like rational churches, reason churches. And they had their own statues and fucking all. It was ridiculous, right? And they actually tried to do metric time. So they wanted a 10-hour day, and like they wanted a 100-year or 100-day calendar. Something ridiculous. It was just fucking stupid, right? And it didn't work. Like people they couldn't do business, right? So they had to get rid of the metric time.
Okay.
But they kept the other bullshit. So do you know what a meter is?
No, I looked it up before, but no.
Okay, well, do you know what a foot is?
Yeah.
How big is a foot?
12 inches.
Well, how big is a foot, like, visually? How can you estimate the size of a foot?
Yeah.
What if you look at your foot?
Well, not, but your foot, I mean, not everyone's foot's
doesn't matter.
Inches.
You don't need that level of precision.
Okay.
That's the point, right? A foot is something that you use in your day-to-day life for measuring distances.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be fucking precise, right? Now, when you talk about a meter...
Not too much carpentry, are we?
Well, we're talking about day-to-day life. Yeah. We're going to get to that later.
Okay.
So, when you talk about a meter, to calculate the length of a meter, you would first draw a line from the North Pole to the equator, going through Paris. Okay?
Okay.
And then you would divide that length by 10,000. And that's a meter.
Oh, dear God.
Now, how the fuck are you going to do that? Have you ever been to the North Pole? Have you ever been to the equator?
So, wait, I'm sorry. Which North Pole?
The one at the top of the Earth.
Oh, because I've been in North Pole, Alaska.
No.
No, I seriously, I'm driving through Alaska. I'm at the North Pole.
Not quite.
Where's Santa?
No, so the actual North Pole, and you've never been to the equator, right?
No.
And you've never been to Paris?
Nope. I mean, on the strip?
No. Paris, France.
Oh, yeah, no.
And you've never been anywhere along that line that would match those 3 points? No. So how the fuck would you know what a meter is? You wouldn't, right?
Right.
So this is what's rational to these people, right? They're fucking insane. Now, a kilogram. A kilogram is literally a hunk of metal sitting in Paris. And if you want to know if Ron weighs a kilogram, or if your microphone weighs a kilogram, you have to put it on a balance with that hunk of metal in Paris and see if the balance balances out.
Okay, we tried going to the metric system in the 70s. What the fuck's wrong with us?
It's communism.
That sounds stupid.
It's communism. I can go on and on. So yeah, we can talk about like some imperial quote unquote units, right? Like the mile, right? A mile is from the Latin word mille, which means 1,000.
Okay.
So a mile is about 1,000 paces. And
it's 5,300...
5,280 feet. But again, like, that doesn't matter. Like, people in the metric system fanboys will say, oh, you can't convert. Right? In the metric system, you just divide by 10 or multiply by 10.
There's fanboys for the metric system.
Oh, yeah. And most of them live in Europe. They're fucking nuts, dude. And they think, like, dividing by 10 is this magical property that, like, holy fuck, this is the greatest thing invented since sliced bread. No, it doesn't, like, it does, sorry.
That's okay.
It does not matter how many feet are in a mile. Because the point is not to convert a small unit into a big unit. It doesn't matter, right? Doesn't fucking matter. This is not why we have units of length, right? So, back to the 1,000, this was, the mile was formed in Rome, in ancient Rome. And it was 1,000 paces. So if you walk
that's about right.
and count 1,000 paces, which a pace is 2 steps,
yeah.
A mile is going to be about 1,000 of those.
Okay.
And you don't have to have more precision than that. It doesn't fucking matter, right? It's 1,002 paces. Excuse me. Doesn't matter. Holy fuck. And man, I could just go on forever. But so, guys, the metric system is not special. It's fucking communism. It was invented by crazy communists who beheaded people. They were nuts.
My takeaway on this is we have to name this show The Metric System is Communism.
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 And if you want to go more, I can go for hours and hours.
I'm sure you can.
Come to the chat room. I will do this all night.
Oh, sure.
So let's move on.
Set up, let me know when that happens. So I can say the fuck off of X. Jesus, I'm saying fuck off that chat room. Jesus. No, I mean, it's interesting. It really is kind of cool. So,
and I only bring this up because we had a chat discussion where it came up, and I said, you know what, I'll do a rant on the show instead of going in the chat room. But now that I've got my rant out, we can go in the chat room for hours and hours if you want.
So I want to do a quick conversation on who's left America.
We still got more?
Ellen.
Yeah, we got Ellen, yeah.
Ashton Kutcher and his wife, Amelia.
Nice. Dude, where's my car?
I know. I believe Kobe's knocking on the door in the country.
Okay.
He's taking a break from basketball. Watch the videos. He's sitting there watching a game. People are fucking. We know you were the Diddy party, man. So so let's find out who else is going to be leaving America. I have a feeling it's going to be a mass exodus after Christmas.
Nice. Let's get it going. Get these people out of here.
I know. Hey, there might be a hole in Hollywood.
Biden, where you at? Grant these people some pardons.
Oh no. He did you hear? He sent it the other day.
No.
He had apparently. I really hope it was a joke, but with him, I don't know. He's talking about having like skull surgery, and they had to remove his skull 2 different times. They're looking for a brain, and it wasn't there.
What?
He fucking said this on stage. Now, it's kind of a funny thing, you know, if you're playing, but I don't know if he was serious or not. Jesus.
Wow.
I'm going to go through this stuff because I have one more story I want to talk to you about that might be a little bit lengthy. Caitlin Clark, you know who she is?
Basketball, WNBA?
Yeah. You see what I posted?
Yeah, I saw that.
What the? Seriously?
I think she's tired of them beating the shit out of her, and she's like, just leave me alone, guys. Here, I'll say this on X. Just leave me alone.
No. I'm done.
You think she's a true believer?
Well, no, I don't care. That's what she said. She came out anti-white.
Yeah.
Because they were beating up on her.
Well, yeah.
Well, learn how to fucking fight.
She's tiny.
Outrun them then. Whatever. I don't know. It just pissed me off because she did nothing wrong.
Right.
And then she is probably the best woman in the NBA, in the WNBA.
It seems like it.
And they can't even bond together.
She's white.
People went and bought tickets to the basketball game because she was playing.
But she's white.
But do you know they don't make money? The only reason they're profitable is the NBA pays them.
Yeah.
And they want more money.
Right.
But yet they get somebody who's filling the seats, and they
well, they should negotiate a deal to just get only profits. How about that?
Yeah. Insurance companies most profitable. Oh yeah, that's what I posted that for. $32 billion.
Yeah.
The insurance and they're
good for them. It sounds like they're doing better than everyone else.
Not if they're killing people.
They're not killing people. Diseases are killing people.
And they can fix the diseases.
No, they can't. It's not in the contract. Read your contracts. Stop trying to defraud them. Stop trying to claim things that aren't in your contract.
We will not make you better if you get sick. If you get sick, it's your own fault. So deal with it. Is that how that works?
That's how life works, man.
No.
Like, if Peanut the squirrel got sick, sorry, you dead. You're a squirrel.
Oh, let's see real quick. So that's the one I want to talk about in a second. Anti-corruption day. Oh yeah, did you see that? The FBI wants people to call in and report suspicious companies. Of course, I went, can we report the FBI to the FBI?
We should start doing that.
Shit. Although they're getting a new boss, it looks like. The old one quit.
Still doing it. Don't care.
Yep. Okay.
We have to do the big story.
Well, that's why I was trying to...
Yeah.
Are we talking drones?
No, that's not the big story.
The fuck's your big story? Mine's drones.
Daniel Penny.
Okay, let's do Daniel Penny first.
Dude, like, not guilty. So first, the jury was deadlocked.
Right.
And the judge threw out the manslaughter charges. Then the jury went back in, I think, for 3 days. Yeah, and came back not guilty.
So my question was, because I didn't really, because when I first heard this, what I thought I heard was the jury was deadlocked. So the judge said, well, let's throw this charge out. How about this charge now?
Right.
But was that the same charge? Was he already charged with that?
No, yeah, that charge was already there.
Okay, so they didn't just bring up a new charge.
Right.
Because I'm like, that's not fair.
No, yeah. Okay. So it was like, it was manslaughter and then negligent homicide or whatever. And like the instructions were kind of weird sounding. But it said, if it's not manslaughter, it could still be negligent homicide. But if you have negligent homicide, you can't go back up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But yeah.
They called in so many witnesses were on that train and said, I was scared for my life.
Right.
He is a hero to us.
Yeah, there shouldn't have been charges. It's ridiculous.
Really? Like, but there's another case I didn't research.
Well, so here's the thing. The leftists won this anyway, regardless of not guilty.
How do you figure?
Are you going to protect someone on a train? I'm fucking not. Even in Nevada. Fuck you.
No, that brings up a very good point.
Fuck you, you can die.
We have a radio show host here, a local guy, and he's like, well, we still need to stick up for people. He goes, we can't. But no, you're right. And that is the problem because, I'm usually one person. If a car's broken down the middle of the road, I'll get out and help them push it to the side. I'm not a fucking Boy Scout, but I've been there before, and it sucks. But I don't know anymore. I mean, I've stopped fights before. I've gotten involved in shit I shouldn't have.
It's not worth it. I mean, like if they're going to put you through a trial where you hinge on the fucking double masked juror. Like, did you see the? You didn't see the photo, not the photo, but like the artist rendering of the jury. One guy had double masks on.
Oh, how did he?
That's the thing. Like, why? Yeah, why
would that lawyer allow that?
Well, it probably wasn't masked during the voir dire.
No bullshit. Then he can't change his looks after voir dire.
Of course he can.
Why?
He can wear it as
You weren't wearing a mask then. You're wearing a mask now.
He can wear what he wants.
No, I would have. Nope, I would have.
I mean, obviously you should object to that, but what the judge is going to say? No, this is New York City. Go fuck yourself.
Well, okay, so why is he wearing a mask now when he didn't before?
I don't know if he didn't before or not. I don't know.
Whatever. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm really happy the guy got off, but he's still got civil charges to go.
Yeah, that's another this. Oh, this like really pissed me off because Bad Legal Takes is a X account I follow, and they're pretty funny. So like people say the dumbest fucking shit on Twitter or X, and like they highlight it if it's related to legal issues.
Okay.
And somebody was like, "Oh, you can't do that. That's double jeopardy." And like bad. He said it in a stupid way, right? In a really stupid way.
Just like he said it is stupid, but okay.
Well, but Bad Legal Takes highlights them, and I replied with, "Well, actually, it should be double jeopardy because it's the same act."
But it's civil because the government's not involved in the civil case.
Yes, they are. The government is the
judge. But I mean, the prosecutor's not a government prosecutor.
What? So what? So if you now here's the thing. The Constitution, this is the Fifth Amendment, by the way, doesn't say criminal, doesn't say civil. It says you shall not be put in double jeopardy for the same act or whatever it is.
No, I get it. I feel what you're talking about. That's interesting.
Like, and then now people responded with, and this is obvious because the Constitution says shall not be put in jeopardy of life or limb. Okay, so now they would say, well, if you're not threatened with prison time, then you're not being put in double jeopardy. But then...
But life or limb? No, I mean,
okay, but
bankrupting your family.
So, if you get a traffic ticket, a speeding ticket, can they just try it over and over again? No, that's double jeopardy. Right? Double jeopardy applies to speeding tickets.
Right.
But you're not putting in jeopardy of life or limb. So, if you're going to argue that life or limb excludes civil trials, then they can charge speeding tickets all day long.
Speeding is not civil; it's criminal.
Right, but it's not. It's not putting you in jeopardy of life or limb.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So why?
That's an interesting fact.
So I don't think you should be allowed to do that. I think it should count as double jeopardy. Right? You've successfully beaten the criminal trial. Yeah. You don't get a second chance. Sorry, goodbye.
Ron Goldman's not going to like you.
No, well, I don't give a fuck. And now somebody actually had a good reply.
Do you know who that is?
Sounds familiar. Wasn't he the OJ?
Yeah. The father, yeah.
Somebody had a really decent reply, and they said, well, what if I charge you civilly first, right? Now you can evade the criminal charges.
That's a whole the Matrix.
And we can get around this, though. Like, we can just say, like, you have X days to do this, or, right? It's not like it's unsolvable
because you can push a civil case through much quicker than a criminal case. Have your lawyer delay it. You go through your civil case. Go. I'm done.
But we can solve that problem. So yeah, it was a good reply. But we can definitely solve that.
I might become a bank robber. I gotta pay my tax bill somehow. delete. No, that's actually really interesting. No, that's.
Yeah, I think that should qualify as double jeopardy. It's the same act, the same accusation. You lost. Sorry, you only get one shot.
Wow, that is kind of cool.
And another point I brought up was. So criminal, to lose a criminal case, you have to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right.
And to lose a civil case, it has to be on the preponderance of evidence.
Yeah, it's a different criteria.
What if we invent a third one, right? Now instead of, let's say a criminal trial is 99%.
Okay.
And a civil trial is 50%. Let's make a new one that's 30%. And then if you lose that one, we'll make a fourth one and make that like 10%, right? We can just keep doing this. So if the government can do that, why aren't they, like, you know what I mean? It's all bullshit. Stop trying people for the same fucking action. Double jeopardy. It all counts. It should count.
Well, because, I mean, you're looking at it as you're in the courtroom. You're defending your actions.
Right, and you're forced to pay for it.
Right, whether you're defending your actions on criminal or civil, you're still defending your actions.
Right, it's the same action.
So you've already defended that one action.
Yes.
Why should you have to do it again?
Right.
Huh. Should I have had that question from that lawyer we had a couple months or two ago?
Well, I didn't think of it. I mean, this didn't happen.
I know. What are you going to do? So let's talk more about the government.
Sounds like fun.
How stupid are they? How stupid? Yeah, God.
Very.
The drones? What do you know about this drone thing? What do you know about
I saw that it's happening, but I don't really know anything. Like,
you haven't looked into it?
No. I don't give a fuck.
No, it's one of two things. Either we're going to be a terrorist attack, or we're going to fucking be DT. One of the two it's got to be one of the two.
I mean...
No, there was a senator. This did not go the way he expected. He's like, oh, I know it's the mothership from Iran. Well, by the way, hold on. Just so you know, Biden released $10 billion for Iran just recently.
Yeah.
What was that payment for? For some big-ass fucking drones? And a mothership? I want to see this.
Why would Iran have drones? Like, why would they have this cache of drones?
To attack us. They can't shoot missiles at us.
I mean, like, you think they're that advanced?
I would go more Chinese than Iran. But I also think Chinese needs us as much as we need them. So I don't know. But I do believe it's a foreign adversary or it's fucking ET. I mean, seriously. But then my son brought up, well, why would UFOs need lights on them? If they can do space travel,
why are they going?
Headlights?
So nothing crashes into them.
Well, but they came all through space.
Yeah.
And their technology for not crashing something is
no. So nothing crashes into them. So because, like, if you're in space, there's nobody around. There's nothing around you, right?
Meteors.
Meteor can't look at your lights and say, "Oh, I'm going to turn away."
Well, I mean, the space station's got a Starlink up there. Not Starlink, whatever.
But that's not maneuverable. But, like, the aliens know that we have airplanes.
So you admit there's aliens?
I'm just saying, the aliens know that we have airplanes.
Okay.
And they would say, we better put lights on our shit so their stupid airplanes don't fly into us.
Actually, the DOJ goes, it's just airplanes up there. For 45 days, these mystery something has popped up in the sky. But so the senator, I believe he was out of Texas, he goes, well, we know it's not the federal government because they would tell us. Everyone's like, wait, what? What federal government are you talking about? They won't tell us shit. But he came out and said the mothership, and then like 2 hours later, the DOD came out and said, no, that is not true. They do not have a mothership.
It's just more likely that it's some stupid government program testing
they're the size of a fucking SUV.
Yeah, so?
Then
Our drones are huge. Have you seen American drone, like actual fighter drones?
Yeah, if you want to see one, just go up.
Yeah, they're huge. 95
North. We go where the Big Boy restaurant is.
No.
You know where the military base is up there? Not Nellis. It's another military base.
Maybe.
It's on 95. It's I believe it's before you get to 160 to cut off to Pahrump, and that's where the drone pilots are in this country.
Huh.
I mean, I'm not releasing anything that's top secret because I know about it, and nobody's going to tell me top secret shit. But in the casino, they actually have a drone suspended from the ceiling.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Well, yeah. I mean, why would they? I mean, it's not like they wouldn't do that.
So the American people are like, "What the fuck is this? What's going on?" And our government's going to be like, "Well, it's us, but let's just not tell them."
Yes.
Oh, but there's something else.
It's top secret.
Then get them out in the goddamn sky.
But it's top secret that they're doing it.
I just heard about this today. So
okay,
Project Bluebeam.
I had never heard of that.
Apparently, it's a conspiracy theory that claims NASA is attempting to implement a fake Martian attack.
I mean, I know they've planned that. They've talked about doing that before.
So, yeah, I don't know. I still believe they need to keep Trump out of office. I have not backed off on that claim yet. The immigrants, maybe. I don't know what role they're going to play in this, but I still believe that they might because they're here.
Nope.
Now we've got fucking spaceships or drones, and there's reports they've seen them come out of the water. So could they be? Could the mothership be a sub?
They're testing like the amphibious drone combo.
And there was a deputy in a boat, and the drones are following him.
Sure.
Okay. Well, no, this one guy. I've heard this from multiple places, but I have not verified this to be true or not. If people send their own drones up to get pictures of them, their batteries die instantly. Again, not saying that's true because I don't know, but I've seen numerous people be interviewed and said, yes, I sent my drone up with a fully charged battery, and then within a few minutes it said battery dead, shutting down, and it landed itself apparently. I don't know.
Interesting.
So I mean, I'm kind of interested in this, but if it is,
I mean, someone out there's got to have a telescope for fuck's sake. Like
telescope.
Aim your telescope at it.
No, aim your scope at it off your fucking rifle.
Those aren't good enough.
Fucking put a bullet in it. Why are we not finding out what it is?
Because people are stupid.
No, our government should be like, it's no threat. Oh, what is it? We don't know. So how do you know it's no threat?
Because it's theirs.
It could be, but why 45 days in a row?
Because that's what they do. They've always done this.
I don't know.
You think they told us about the submarines when they were testing that shit? No.
But what are they doing above New Jersey?
Maybe that's what the dumbest people are that don't have telescopes. I mean, obviously.
We are not saying, here at Canary in the Cage, we are not saying people from New Jersey are dumb. We're not saying they're not, but we're not saying they are.
I mean, have you watched Jersey Shore? It's fucking like, they're pretty stupid.
Okay, here at Canary Cage, we are saying people from Jersey are stupid because we saw Jersey Shore. Just based on Jersey Shore. I don't need the mafia coming after us. We love you guys.
The Jersey Mafia? I ain't scared of those people.
Hey, Tony Soprano.
Yeah, I ain't scared of that.
I don't know. I mean, I still stand my ground on they cannot let Trump get in. So is this something that's going to build up to something?
It could just be distractions. There's always distractions out there.
What are they distracted us from? Trump won. Trump's he's going
everything. They're getting us to talk about it, to waste our time on it, and all that bullshit.
They do that a lot, but I don't know. This one is interesting. I guess we'll have to see what the future brings.
Are we done here?
Oh dear God, we're basically almost at an hour. So yeah, what are you going to go into your thing? I'll go into mine.
So I got an interesting one. It's maintaining separate personas.
Ooh.
So this is especially if you're going to be on the dark web. Now on the dark web, nobody's going to know your IP address. Nobody's going to know like your browser plugins or anything like that, because that's how they track you on the ClearNet. Like they can figure out who the fuck you are, even on a VPN. They have all sorts of ways to track you, and it's very hard to evade that shit. But on the dark web, it's possible to be anonymous, essentially. Okay. So what you want to do when you have this power is actually create multiple different personas. And so why would you want to do this, right? So it actually helps protect your real life identity if you take one of those personas and tie your real life identity to it.
Okay.
And that way you can have the other personas be this other person that has no connection to anything, right? So, for example, let's say if you want to buy and sell in dark markets, right? Well, you don't want Ron Morgan to be doing that.
Right.
You want Secret Hacker 1234 XXX to be doing that.
Yeah.
But that means you have to create this persona, Secret Hacker 1234, right? Chatting. So chatting on the dark web is pretty popular. We're connected to the dark web chat room, and people can come through our chat room to there. And there's other rooms on there where people chat. So you kind of want to have separate personas in mind when you do that. I'm going to go into a little more details why in a little bit. Hosting websites. So I host my personal website on the dark web, where you can learn about me, some things about me, like what I program, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But let's say I want to host another website, right? I don't want you to connect that first website with that second website. So I have two personas for those websites. Yeah. In visiting websites. So one thing on the dark web is when you visit a website, now they can't see your IP address, but they can see a connection string from who you are.
Okay.
So let's say you go to, Ron's Dark Web Emporium, and you only buy legal goods and services, and then 2 minutes later, you go to the illegal dildo store, the monkey rainbow dildo butt store, right? Now, if the same...
That was a callback, just so you know. It was a callback.
If the same person is running those two websites, they can actually see, the person who went to Ron's Dark Web Emporium is the same person shopping for rainbow dildo butt monkeys, right? So you want to be careful about that. Now, you can force it to refresh that string, but you got to know how to do that, right? So be careful about doing that. So now here's the thing with chatting. If you chat long enough, it is very likely that someone is going to discover your real life identity, right? There's just nothing you can do about it. So that's why I recommend, if you're going to be a long-term chatter, just put it out there, right? Yeah. Give up whatever you want, and then take all your other secret stuff and do it separately, right? And some ways they can do this. So you often give away things about yourself without realizing it. So spelling words like color with OU, right? That indicates you might be from England instead of America. Or without the OU, then you're from America. Saying good morning, right? It's only morning in one place in the world, right?
Okay, how about this one? Wicked evil.
Wicked evil?
Yeah.
Is that some regional slang?
Yeah, it's Boston.
Boston, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, wicked smart, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, referencing region-specific holidays like Thanksgiving.
Oh, wait, sorry. Use guys. That's Chicago all the way.
People don't type that, though. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, if you say Happy Thanksgiving, you're American, right? They don't celebrate Thanksgiving anywhere else in the world. And to go to your point, pop versus soda, right? If you say pop, you're probably from the Midwest. If you say soda, you're from the coasts. If you say Coke, you're from the South.
Grocery carts.
Grocery carts?
Buggies.
Buggy?
Yeah, people from the East Coast, or at least they're from Pennsylvania.
Really? I don't know buggies. That one. See, but there's like thousands of these things.
Windscreen versus windshield.
What?
Yeah, the lady I work with, she lived in the Middle East for a while, so maybe it was over there.
There's thousands of these things, and you don't know about them. Right, so, by talking, you are revealing probably where you're from, at least, maybe not where you are, but where you're from.
Yeah, you can,
So I really recommend maintaining this separate personas. Actually research regional slang and local holidays in various cultures, and throw out some false flags, right? So learn a holiday in India and be like, "Happy Diwali, everyone!" But really, like it's easier to just put your real out there and say, "This is me. I don't do anything illegal. I don't commit crimes. Let's chat."
Yeah.
And then if you actually do commit crimes, do it somewhere else, right? Keep it separate. And that's just my opinion. I think it's easier to work that way, but you do you. Let's go into some things about how to make it difficult to tie some personas together. Use different usernames and use randomizers, right? So if you're like, I go by Snex, and I've been using that name since the 90s. Yeah. Right? If you see that name, that's Dave, right? Okay. So, and it's hard to come up with something that's clever, but doesn't tie to you some way. Because I could say, like, Chicago Dude 1982. Oh, well, that's probably a Chicago dude from born in 1982, right?
So I had a persona once on one website, and I used my username was Smoking Monkey.
Okay.
Only because Penn and Teller.
Yeah,
Penn. He was just saying something. Sometimes he goes, "A smoking monkey is the funniest thing." He goes, "Picture a monkey smoking, and you're gonna laugh." And then I'm like, "Okay, that's pretty cool." And then The Simpsons did an episode of a smoking monkey. I'm like,
"Yeah,
that's my new username."
But see, now people know that you watch Penn and Teller and The Simpsons.
Right? Yeah, but that name's that's.
Well, yeah, but so the point, as your real life username, yes, pick something that identifies you. That's fine. But if you're gonna do like secret stuff or covert stuff, just use random numbers.
Yeah.
Random names, random words, random numbers.
Yeah, but then somebody knows you're fake.
Who cares?
Okay.
That doesn't matter. Use different passwords, right? So this is I did a show on password managers.
Yeah.
Use your password manager. Come up with a new password for every different persona. Now, the reason this is important is if you go to a login form and you type in Ron Morgan and my password is 1234. Okay, now they can go to a different website and you say secret hacker 1234. My password is 1234. You know that you can know that those passwords are tied together.
Yeah, but you also can't accidentally log into the wrong account.
Yes,
I like that one.
Yes, and other details like fake location, fake hobbies. It does.
VPNs, all that stuff.
So, like I mentioned earlier, recycle your Tor circuits and your I2P tunnels because that's how they can track you from one location to the next. So you go to website 1, you want to recycle your circuit or your tunnel, then go to website 2.
Okay.
Because then your personas are now separate, right? You can't tie those two together. And then on your config side, you want to label all that stuff for yourself, right? So you want to say, okay, this is my I2P tunnel for chatting. This is my I2P tunnel for clean websites. This is my I2P tunnel for dark web markets. This is my I2P tunnel for rainbow dildo butt monkey stuff.
Wow.
It's a lot of work, but you're going to need to do it. So what else we got here? Yeah, be cognizant of your chatting style. Make sure you're recycling those circuits. And the one bonus thing I want to mention is you can have your own personas interact with each other, right? So yeah,
I've done that before.
Say something as yourself, and then have one of your secret personas say you're a fucking idiot.
I had an argument with one of my personas.
Yeah, so that throws people off.
Yes,
right?
It does.
But you got to be careful. You got to take notes. It's something you want to get involved in heavily if you just find fun in it. But yeah, so look into doing this stuff because it's very important for keeping yourself anonymous on the dark web.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've only done it on one website, and that was the bog.org website. It was just a shit show of a fun website. It's been down for years now. I don't know what it was just a fucking collection of idiots, and we all just we had ways to talk to each other. We could post pictures. But it was a fun website. Hey, if any bog.org people are out there, give us a shout out, man. I doubt you're any. I don't know, maybe a dark web guy.
You never know.
I don't know, maybe. No, it was fun. That was probably one of my first finds on the internet because this is going back to like the early 2000s.
Yeah,
and it was a fun website. Man, I miss that one.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah, so I want to get into it was a request from a listener. We're going to start with irrigation.
Okay,
irrigating your garden. So here in Vegas we have irrigation systems set up already. So we're kind of good with that. But if you have an irrigation system, it's not just like set your timer, get your zone running, and let that water just fly. No. If you've got plants, regardless if you do irrigation or hose, you want to water the base of the plant. You don't care about the leaves. Don't get moisture on the leaves because the sun can burn the leaves. So all you really need to care about is the moisture around the root ball. And there's different ways of checking it. You can put like a moisture meter down there. I mean, I use my finger. Wet, dry, whatever. Because I don't let my dirt get cracked and arid. But like the way I water here in Vegas is going to be different than the way somebody waters anywhere else except Phoenix. It literally the trick to watering here is you go out and you flood your garden in the morning, and when you come home from work, you flood your garden again because they need it if it's in the summertime.
Yeah.
But technically, you should be able to water your garden once a day. I prefer hand watering, so I kind of control the water. If you do want to use the irrigation system, do not use the pop-up like stuff because you'll destroy your plants. It's too hard. So if you truly want to use your irrigation system, they make it's, I guess, lack of a better term, I call it a manifold. You would take the sprinkler head off and screw the manifold on, and you got little nozzles coming off of that you can hook a hose to, a little hose, a drip hose, and run it to the base of each one of your plants. I think you have like 10 different ports you can go off of, and you can pretty much water right to the base of your plant. Now, if you're going to do it that way, you need to up your minutes that you run your irrigation system, because you want to make sure you get that water right where it is. So even so if that's your irrigation system, if you water by hand, again, just water by the base and keep an eye on it. There's a ton of signs that tells you you're underwatering. Wilting, brown on the edges of the leaf show that it's not getting enough water, and it's pulling more salt out of the ground than necessary. So you want to make sure that you do enough about watering. So what else? Definitely water in if my irrigation system, it goes off prior to the sun coming up. If I have to water by hand, it's usually in the morning before I go to work, so the sun's where it is at that point. And I water in the evening only because we live in the freaking desert. But if you don't live in the desert, you really don't want to water in the evening because you don't want your roots sitting in water all night long. You'll get what's called root rot, and your plants will die. So that's why you want to just kind of like keep that moisture in the day and let evaporation happen throughout the day. In a normal environment, that's really what you need. This is something I've actually never done, but I've been thinking about it. Is putting mulch down in your garden. If I do that, I'm going to have to source the mulch out and make sure. I'll probably make my own mulch. I don't trust what other people say is good, but that holds moisture, and then that can also release water throughout the day to keep things going. I mean, I do believe rainwater is the best water for plants. So I highly recommend, if you live in an area that actually rains. When is the last time it rained here? It hasn't been over like a year. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Now, this is the only time that I'll tell you it's okay to break the law. If you live in a city or a state that says you can't collect rainwater, fuck them. Collect rainwater. If only outlaws, if they outlaw collecting rainwater, only outlaws will collect rainwater. Fucking slogan for a t-shirt right there. No, but yeah, rainwater is very, very important. And if we did rain here more, I probably would set up an irrigation system within my rain bucket, because it really wouldn't be hard. You could actually put in a little pump and then have a hose come off your rain bucket, and you could actually do something where you could irrigate through your rain bucket, which I actually would love to do. We just don't get the rain here. The other thing you can do is if you don't have irrigation system, use hoses. Now, if you want to stand out there like I did and water each plant individually, that's fine. But if you want to set up a soaker hoses, they make soaker hoses. So you would just run it throughout, kind of wrap it around where your plants are sitting at. You could even set it up on a timer off the spigot in your backyard. Set the timer to run 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. every morning. It'll come on. Let it run for an hour. Keep an eye on it to hour too much, hour too little kind of thing. And you'll find out pretty quick what the time you need your soaker hoses to run for. But yeah, I highly recommend using soaker hoses or point of use watering. You water right by the base of the plant itself. Water is important. I've had some issues here with my garden that my pH is way off. I think I'm kind of blaming the water on this one right now. So I'm having to lower my pH in my garden a lot. So the only thing it comes down to, it's got to be the water. We have very, very strange water here.
Yeah.
We chemically filter our water. Is that how that works?
I don't know what the fuck we do. We put sediment in there. It's nasty. It builds up on your tub. God damn.
Yeah, I mean, you got coffee pot. You're going through coffee makers probably one a year.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, but I mean, and one of the biggest things, in almost everything of life, is garbage in, garbage out. And if your water is garbage, you want to try and supplement that water with some good water as much as you can. But yeah, I mean, you'll see the results if you water it properly. So we got hose, rainwater, irrigation. Yeah. But yeah, I just don't water the plant, water the base. I guess is the best I can say about that. Anything to add?
Nope.
All right. It sounds like a show. Hopefully the
Cool.
drones won't kill us before next week's show.
See you next week.
Yep. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us at the Canary in the Cage podcast.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share us to help build the community.
You can find us at Odyssey, Rumble, YouTube, or your favorite podcast app, and even on the dark web at I2P.
Thanks for listening, and see you next time.